Next year, there'll be 6 African nations taking the field at the FIFA World Cup, host South Africa, and 5 qualifiers. Before 1970, there was no guarantee there'd be even one. But after a boycott in 1966, FIFA decided that one African nation would go directly to the World Cup in Mexico. And that nation turned out to be Morocco.
It was a great feeling because it was the first time Morocco had qualified for the World Cup. And in order to represent Africa and the Arab nations, we played all the other African teams to do it. It was an amazing feeling. The fans were happy and full of enthusiasm, and so were the players. To qualify for your first World Cup was a strange feeling, but it was wonderful as well.
Allal Ben Kassou was born 70 years ago in Rabat, and from 1962 through to 1977, he played for FAR, a military team from the capital. He won 6 league titles and 1 cup, and during those years, he was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the land, as well as one of the best in Africa. He played for the national team for 13 years, taking part in 3 Olympic Games. But without doubt, the highlight of his career was his trip to Mexico.
To be honest, if you don't have the confidence or self-belief, you shouldn't really go. We were confident and also unafraid, even though we had a very difficult opening game. The German team of the 70s had a huge reputation, and some of the biggest names in football, like Beckenbauer, Zähler, Müller, and the goalkeeper Meyer. As far as we were concerned, we were representing Morocco and Africa, but this was an opponent we had to treat with the utmost seriousness. It was going to be a difficult match, but we wanted to try as hard as possible to get a result that would please us, as well as the Moroccan fans.
Morocco got off to the brightest of starts in that first match against the might of the West Germans. A goal midway through the first half from Mohamed Jarir had set up what would have been the biggest shock in football since North Korea beat Italy 4 years earlier.
Honestly, we really didn't think that we could beat them. They attacked right from the very beginning of the game, and I had to make quite a few important saves. All their attacks seemed like they would definitely produce goals. And after something like that, after defending with your backs to the wall, your confidence can become fragile. But when we scored, that all changed. Our confidence grew again, and we felt great. But we had to keep focused and keep hold of our lead.
But there was to be no fairy tale ending for the North Africans. 11 minutes into the second half, Uwe Seeler levelled the score. Morocco hung on until the 78th minute, when Gerd Müller scored one of his famous little goals.
We lost 2-1 and no one likes losing. But when you lose to one of the best football nations in the world, who at the time were playing some great football, 2-1 wasn't such a bad result. It was a great experience. We were happy and still enthusiastic.
The enthusiasm might have been there, but so was the inexperience. That was shown up by their performance in the next game against Peru. The South Americans, with Cabillas at his best, easily beat them 3-0. Pride was restored in their last group game when Morocco held Bulgaria to a 1-1 draw. But for Kassou, the tournament was over.
OK, so we didn't qualify for the second round, but we played some good football and showed the rest of the world that African football had to be taken seriously. We got a lot of recognition from everyone, all our families, friends and the fans. And when we arrived back home, there were thousands of fans waiting for us at the airport. That was because they wanted to show how happy and thankful they were for all that we'd achieved.